Alright, I'm watching The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, and right near the end of The Witch's Familiar, the doctor says run to Missy, and Missy's like, I'm not the one who...
I said run!
It wasn't me who ran, Doctor. That was always you.
It wasn't me who ran, Doctor, that was always you. So if Missy is the future Doctor, then the Doctor ran from their true nature, which is the Master, which is Missy. So yeah, that's what the Doctor was running from. They were running from themselves. That's why they run from being president of Gallifrey. Because they are dangerous. They live their life in penance. That's why they are the Doctor, that's why they are the civilization saver. The Doctor is acting against their own nature. It's a question of, are you who you are by nature? Or are you who you choose to be? The Doctor, for now, chooses to be the Doctor. But one day, they'll give in and become the Master. And become Missy. Who are we? Are we what our nature is? Are we who we naturally are? Or are we who we choose to be? The Doctor is what he chooses to be, but eventually will become what he naturally is. Okay, we all lack vision. You know, we're given the dots to connect. Missy's surrounded by Daleks at the end of the Series 9 two-parter. And she's like, you know what, I've just had a very clever idea.
You know what? I've just had a very clever idea.
Okay. And next time we see her, she is being executed by the killing planet. I think her idea is so evil that the killing planet gets involved, you know? Like, everything the Master's done up to this point is not as categorically evil as whatever she's about to do. And because, you know, killing planet people capture her and that they plan to kill her and stuff. You know, they try to kill her. What does she do? You know, Davros said that he always wished that he and the Doctor were on the same side. I think Missy teams up with Davros. And if Missy is the future Doctor, then this is them truly becoming on the same side. This is all set up. All the stuff Davros was saying was true. Missy helps him out. You know, maybe he no longer needs a fucking wheelchair after this, you know? Maybe she's like, alright, let me help you out with some legs and stuff, you know? So not only does she heal Hitler more than the Doctor's already done, But yeah, she saves the Daleks and kind of, if the Dalek is the king, if Davros is the king of the Daleks, then Missy becomes the queen of the Daleks. The Killing Planet's probably been trying to get at Davros for ages. Or does she do something even worse? Okay, let's think about it. At the end of Series 9, the Time Lords capture the Doctor in order to find out about the hybrid. Is the hybrid basically Missy's doing? The end of the universe is brought about because of Missy getting Clara and the Doctor together, but she did that beforehand. So why does her plan with Davros add to that? I don't know, maybe she goes back in time and tells herself to do it. I don't know. But Missy and the Daleks, what's the end of the Time War? It is the synthesis between these two species. It's not the destruction of either. The ultimate conclusion is the unification of them, just like how the Time Lords unified with the Cybermen. Just how the Daleks unify with humans. Eventually there becomes a unification so powerful. Okay, and you know how the Doctor's, Capaldi's Doctor especially, just like has, in fact it's only him, isn't it? He has this joke about his browser history. I thoroughly believe that his browser history is basically checking what his kill count is on the Galactic Hub, or whatever, the fatality index on the Galactic Hub, as mentioned in the Killing Planet episode to Extremis. So, what was I saying? The Doctor in the Galactic Hub. Alright, yeah, so the browser history is basically the Doctor looking up what their kill count is, and the Doctor has to have racked up such a massive kill count in the fatality index, to terrify the Killing Planet people when he tells them to look him up. Like, the Doctor wiping themselves from every database in the universe wasn't useful when ultimately, it was useful to an extent, but ultimately they needed to be part of the fatality index so that, they could scare away the Killing Planet people. So the Doctor was working hard on killing as many as possible. Maybe that's why they acted like they didn't kill the moon, because the Doctor was trying to be partly responsible for the death of everyone on Earth. The Doctor really didn't know whether the moon would actually kill everyone on planet Earth. Maybe he thought it would. Anyway, my point being, if Missy and the Daleks are the ultimate combination, the Doctor probably fought against them, and so this is just going on in the background. We never see this, but there's a war between Missy and the Daleks and the Doctor. It's really Missy and Davros ruling over the Daleks and establishing a new kingdom, a new world order. Okay, let's have a think. Sleep No More happens and it doesn't get resolved, which pretty much ends the universe, and the Doctor ends up going into another universe between Face the Raven and Hellbent. But enough about that. Shit, what am I saying? Sleep No More happens. The universe ends, at least significantly so. The sleep monsters take over humanity. So the Time Lords are Missy and the Davros with the Daleks against the Doctor, and who the Doctor would have to have, like, the Doctor would have killed so many, you know. Missy, I just think Missy probably did go to war against Gallifrey, you know. It's the Doctor and Gallifrey versus Missy and the Dalek. You know, when they say in Hellbent that the Doctor was the one who won the Time War, I don't think they were thinking of the biggest backfire in history from Day of the Doctor, because let's be honest, that was a terrible plan, and obviously the Daleks wouldn't just shoot themselves in the biggest backfire in history when the planet disappeared. Like, they'd be able to avoid some lasers, like that was not what won the Time War, you know. I think the Doctor wins the Time War when the Time War is the Dalek. Yeah, you know, it's King Davros and Queen Missy with the Daleks against Doctor Who. Doctor becomes what in Gallifrey, because there's still Rassilon in Gallifrey. So, like, and he calls himself Rassilon the Resurrected. So the Doctor presumably resurrected Rassilon. So it's Missy and Davros with the Daleks, ruling over the Daleks, versus the Doctor and Rassilon ruling over Gallifrey. And that was the Time War that we never get to say. That's why Missy has been captured by the Killing Planet, because the worst part of the Time War has now come. What happened? What changed? Presumably there was something that fundamentally changed. I mean, as I say, Sleep No More ended the universe as we know it. Presumably the Doctor fixed that when he defeated Missy and the Daleks somehow. Just undid all of their things, but also somehow managed to keep some sort of kill count. Alright, I'm going around in circles here. But yeah, holy shit. Bet you didn't know about that, eh? You know, she said that the Doctor always ran from himself. So, like, if the Doctor ran away from himself, then his true nature, Missy, against his true nature unleashed while he's the Doctor. Maybe he considers himself at that point the Doctor of the universe. And the meaning of Doctor becomes warrior. I don't know. But yeah, just like how there's the War Doctor who he never admits about. I think that could be like, I don't know. Like, I do have belief that the Doctor, basically from this story, like ever since he like gave all the Daleks and Davros his regeneration energy, like he's dying right and up, and like he's in a state of grace while dying up until his actual death in Twice Upon a Time. Which would be kind of bonkers if this whole war happened in that time. But I mean, what even is time in a time war, you know? The greatest time war could happen in the blink of an eye. It's the time war, you know? The time war just happens in a second. Maybe Missy's willingness to change is because of how dark she went, how evil she went to team up with Davros and the Daleks. You know, the Daleks are based off Davros's DNA, but what did Missy do? Did she add her own DNA to the Daleks? I guess they wouldn't be too pleased about that, but who knows? What did she do? What horrific things could Missy have done? You know, she talks about how stopping the planes is just a parlor trick. So, and she couldn't have done anything with them. Is that like foreshadowing of what she did? She did something. Like she did what she did with the planes, which is stop them in time. As I say, the true time war, the final chapter of the time war happened in an instant. She froze what in time? Everything apart from Davros and the Daleks. How did the Doctor escape? I don't know, maybe a TARDIS makes that different. Maybe Gallifrey being in a time bubble at the end of the universe makes it different. So the whole of the universe is just on pause. Maybe even the Doctor and the Time Lords are on pause. But because they're also outside of the universe in the time vortex and the time bubble, they're able to fight. How the hell did Missy survive this? You know, I've always said that the Doctor doing the no guns thing and the no Venusian Aikido thing is basically Nuzlocking life. It's playing life on hard mode, you know? Like a video game. Which potentially is all that Doctor Who is. See my Talons of Wen Chian video for a deep expose into that. But yeah, here we find out that the Doctor, like, you know how most species in the universe are terrible shots? Like, everyone's really bad at aiming. But the Doctor is the best at it, and it just makes winning every situation super easy, barely an inconvenience. Look at that absolute dead shot, massacring the hand mines. Pew 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 pew. Let's see if he misses a single one. This is why he doesn't use guns, apart from just he got shot as McCoy and didn't enjoy the experience. Greatest shot in the universe makes it kind of boring, makes the whole LARP of being the Doctor crap. So yeah. He's just too good at it. no guns. It's no fun that way. You know, it's like when I play the board game Animal Upon Animal, where you have to stack little animal counters, and if you get rid of all of yours, you win. And I always make sure that my final move is such a cool, difficult to do move, you know. It's awesome to do. And it levels out the difficulty, you know, because like I'm usually better at that game than most people. That's what the Doctor's doing, though. He's winning on hard mode because it's awesome, and because it levels the playing field at least somewhat to make it an interesting, challenging game. This is the Doctor mask off at the moment. He's about to, you know, team up with... Wait a minute, maybe the Doctor doesn't team up with the Time Lords. If Missy and Davros team up with the Daleks, what if the Doctor teams up with young Davros? That's a very Time War thing to do. What does it mean? Maybe it means that Davros's entire future has changed and the accident never happens. Has the Doctor literally changed Davros? Does the Doctor save Davros? Does he do a Christmas carol to Davros in order to stop there being a Davros? Yes, there is no Davros anymore. Not like we know him. He's fundamentally different. You know? Sees a plunger on a Dalek, and that's the Doctor reintroducing. Like, the Dalek wasn't going to have a plunger, and then the Doctor just presents a plunger, and Davros in what was it, Destination Scarrow, is it called? Davros is just like, I like it. I think Davros is a bit more goofy now. He's like, that's fun, a little plunger. Don't know. Like, it wasn't going to be a plunger. The Doctor just reintroduced it. I bet those Daleks were lovely. You know, that's why Ncuti has never encountered Daleks. Because the Daleks are lovely now. The Doctor changed them. And Davros changed... Well, Doctor changed Davros, which changed the Daleks. Or something. I don't know. But, you know, it's juicy information. Alright, my theory that the Doctor works on sort of so many more dimensions than we do, in a way that just makes pitting a human against the Doctor just nonsense, because the Doctor is just working in so many more dimensions. Like, look at Missy. Like, look how she is just entirely aware of where to go to avoid these laser blasts. Like, this is the true power of the Doctor.
Exterminate.
Exterminate.
Like, Missy's just loving this, because she is working on so many more dimensions to Clara. Like, you know, if time is like, what, the 4th or 5th dimension or whatever, then like, what are all the other dimensions? We must be like a 2D drawing in Fear compared to Missy. You know, Missy's just regular people in Fear, and we're just those drawings being like, help! And thinking we have more power than we do.